Equal justice for all, you use those words. Like cases treated alike, you use those words. All people are treated equal. Let's just look and review a few things. Let's look at the classified documents case. One individual is Vice President of the United States, removes documents which he has no right to do, Joe Biden. He then removes documents also before he was Vice President as a U.S. Senator, no right to do that, doesn't have the right to declassify. Yet a special counsel is appointed, and the result of that is that, well, there's nothing we're going to do because he's a kindly older gentleman that has a bad memory and it wouldn't be a good case. And yet at the same time, a president of the United States who does have a right to declassify documents, removes them, keeps them in a secure place, has the right to do it because he was a president and he's indicted. Equal justice for all. Prosecutor Bragg, and I'm going to ask you a question about this, just your opinion. He ran for office saying he was going to put Donald Trump in jail before he saw all the evidence, before he knew everything about the case, before he knew anything. He ran for office saying he was going to put another human being in jail and ran on that as his platform. Do you believe that it's appropriate for somebody to run for prosecutor? And by that, also in Fulton County, Georgia, the same thing happened there with the prosecutor. Do you think it's appropriate? Do you think someone who's being interviewed for a position when they're going to be appointed, or somebody who is running for office and is going to be elected at this level of government in the judiciary, should say what they want to do as far as putting somebody in jail before they've even seen the case? Is that appropriate, yes or no?
Your description of the Herr and Smith cases is inaccurate. I don't know whether your description of what the two district attorneys said.
Well, then you don't look at the news. Excuse me, Attorney General, because I only have a limited amount of time. Everywhere it was reported. It was, if you knew anything, you knew that Alvin Bragg and also, again, the prosecutor in Fulton County, Georgia, they ran on that. And that's wrong. That isn't equal justice for all. It's wrong, and this wasn't equal justice for all. And by the way, I think my rendition of what happened when the special counsel looked at that is pretty damn accurate. I even put the word kindly in there. Kindly old gentleman, forgetful, it wouldn't be a good case for that reason. Those are all accurate. But I want to ask you something else. Do you know who Jay Bratt is? I know that you do. He's a top aide to Jack Smith. And I know that you must be aware that Mr. Bratt attempted to pressure the defense attorney of a close Trump aide with a judgeship if the attorney went along with Jack Smith's desires and his demands. Are you aware of that?
I know Mr. Bratt to be an excellent lawyer, a longtime career prosecutor, a person of high ethics, and I know the issue you're talking about is disputed. Those facts are disputed in the district court in Florida, and it will be resolved by the judge in that case.
Yep, and that's why the case was stopped, because it's obviously of concern. There's something there. Are you aware that on May 3rd, Special Counsel Smith himself acknowledged in a court filing that after the FBI seized evidence that, and it's right on Mar-a-Lago, that some of the evidence was altered, manipulated, or disturbed? Is that standard procedure?
I have not read anywhere where he said it was altered or manipulated. So again, I can't accept that characterization.
Mr. Attorney General, I want to be respectful, man. Are you living in a bubble here? I mean,
I'm not living in a bubble, but
good
your
God, it was
characterization
seen.
is
I mean,
false.
everybody saw it. Everybody heard it. Smith himself said it. That's why that case was stopped.
If you can show me where he said he manipulated the evidence, I'll have a different...
You don't like my word, but that there was some tampering, and absolutely he said that he had touched the evidence, and we don't know what level, and now Americans are concerned, God knows what level it is and whether we'll really know the truth. And I got a question about this. Former President Trump, as you know, was being dragged through a political travesty, and you won't agree that it's a travesty, orchestrated by Alvin Bragg. How is it that a man, Matthew Colangelo, the third highest ranking individual in the Department of Justice, takes a pay cut and takes a cut in just, you know, what it is he does for a living as far as prestige, to go and join that case. And I know you'll say you don't have the answer to that either.
I have the answer. I took an enormous pay cut to become an assistant U.S. attorney. Mr. Mueller took an enormous pay cut, both of us as partners in
But your
law firms, to
prestige
work
went
for the
up.
public good. Many people have a view about doing the public good and not caring about how much money they make.
I'm going to yield in a second, but we were lied to about Catholic churches.
Point of
We were
order.
lied to about school board meetings. We were lied to about Russian collusion. We were lied to about the
Point of
president's
order.
sweetheart deal. We were lied to
Time
about
minute.
mishandling of classified
Time minute,
materials. We
gentlemen.
were lied to about FISA, and I
Point of
yield
order.
back.
Time of gentleman's expired.